gonna bother you? Dang, I just thought about it because I could have went in the car, but we live. I already cranked up. We lit, we live, man. Tina, what's good? Prayers up, blessings up. We lit, we live, man. I got some notes. I need some notes for this live. Let's see who pull up in here and put it in park. Adriana, what's popping? Prayers up, blessings up. We lit, we live. Right now I'm live on Facebook and YouTube. Well, I got on this live, so me and my wife out here in Nashville, we just did a 7-day retreat, which I have never had an experience like this in my life, and I just was motivated. Really, today we keep in the Day of Atonement, and so we chilling. We're not eating for 24 hours, and we're actually gonna ride out here to the what's the name of that waterfall out here? You remember? It's a big waterfall out here. It's probably like an hour and a half away from Nashville. We going to that waterfall and we're gonna walk out there, and it's like a trail you can hike, and it's like more than one waterfall. We're gonna go hike that trail and meditate out there. So check this, right? This is what I came out here for, and this is what I wanted to talk about on this live. Tina, what's popping? Julio, what they do, man? Man, I appreciate that, Julio. Shaquille, what's popping? Hey, man, chilling. So the reason why I did this live, right, is because we did an event with Joe Dispenza. And if you don't know who he is, I highly encourage you to look him up, Joe Dispenza. He wrote a book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. He's wrote a lot of books. Like, I don't even know how many books. He's done a lot in his life. What he's known for is using the power of the mind to heal people and generate miraculous outcomes in people's lives, all type of testimonials of abundance. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. There's too much public proof about what the work that Joe Dispenza is doing, period. And so I seen him years ago on a it was a documentary. It was around the same time this documentary came out called The Secret. You know what I'm saying? So on this live, I'm about to break down. We ended up going to this event with Joe Dispenza. I'm just giving a testimony, and whoever can catch it. And I'm telling you right now that everything that I'm about to tell you is the truth. And a lot of it sounds unbelievable. I'm still wrapping my mind around what me and my wife just experienced over the last 7 days, especially the last 3 days. I have never experienced anything like this, and I've had unbelievable experiences in my life. This ranks right up there with them, but it was back to back. It's amazing what's going on right now and what's possible in this world. I'm telling you. All right, so before I get into it, I'm trying to see who's locked in, because we out here in Nashville. We out here in Nashville. I would give the shout out, but I'm actually keeping the Day of Atonement, and I don't do business on the Day of Atonement. So you caught me at the wrong time. Just know you got my good intentions, though. You know what I'm saying? Blue waves. So check this out, right? So here's the thing. This is the thing, right? First of all, I want to know who's in the building. We out here in Nashville. We from Miami. We actually in Franklin. If you can see out the back window right there, we right here on the strip, downtown Franklin in the Airbnb. But who in the building, man? Rep your city. Rep your city, rep your state, man, in the comments. I'm trying to see who locked in so I can see who's locked in with us and what, rep where you from in the comments. I'm trying to see what's going on. Oh, Darlene, it's all love, man. You know it's all love. Rep your city, rep your state, and also I'm trying to see who I got good service if we locked in right here. Lincoln, Nebraska in the building. Junior, what they do, man. Oregon in the building. Okay, Lincoln and Oregon in the building. Barbados, that's live. Buffalo, New York, peace and love. What's up? Linus out of Barbados, I see you. Jonah, what they do, man. I appreciate that, Jonah. Maria out of Pennsylvania. What they do, Nashville. Oh, Nashville native. What's up? We over here in your neck of the woods right now. Sheena, what's good? Ohio, Franklin. Yeah, Kelly Franklin is. It really is, man. It really is. Our business partner, shout out. Matter of fact, let me slow down on that. I caught myself. But they out here at Franklin. Huntsville, what they do. Louisa, what's good? Out of Texas in the building. Liberia. That's live, man. Eunice, what they do, man. Lincoln, Nebraska in the building. So that's all love, man. Oh, man, thank you, too, Corey, out of Savannah, Georgia. Shout out Savannah. There's a lot of paranormal activity stories I've heard about Savannah. But anyway, so which that's a good time to this because sometimes people say, oh, you know, um, ghosts aren't real, UFOs aren't real, miracles don't happen. We can go on and on about the things that are like beyond belief. Well, me and my wife both seen ghosts together, and we was actually in Port St. Lucie, Florida. So me and her know we watched them for like 15 minutes back, didn't we? I don't know if y'all caught that. If you can hear, she's right up there. But yeah, we definitely seen ghosts, so I know for a fact that it's a thing. We both seen UFOs. I've got seen it multiple times. And so, when it comes to things that are unbelievable to some people, it's not to me. And then ever since I was young too, like when I would hear stories about like even like Bigfoot, vampires and stuff like that, I always looked at it like it's a reason why so many people talking about these certain things. Like it got to be something to it. I always was more open-minded to it, I guess, and I feel like that's why I've been able to experience them. But anyways, so let me get on topic because the point is, we came out here to Nashville for a 7-day retreat that Joe Dispenza put on, and he does these retreats. He do like 10 of them every year. Like he do them pretty much back to back. He do 7-day retreats, 5-day retreats. He do 10-day retreats, and the purpose of this retreat was more so for healing and bringing about the mystic, or he call it the mystic, but it's like miracles. And so if you've never heard of Joe Dispenza, drop a 4 in the chat. If you never heard of Joe Dispenza, drop a 4 in the chat. I want to know who hasn't heard of him, so I could, because I'm about to give my testimonial, and like I say, this live is for whoever want to catch it, and because I know I'm spiritual for somebody, because what's going on, what we just was a part of, and get into the practice of, is real. And so, for whatever it's worth, it can help you manifest whatever you want out of life. It can. We've literally seen people get healed. There's too many testimonials. Linda never heard of him. Jacqueline never heard of him. If you heard of him, drop a yes. If you didn't, drop a no, or drop a 4 if you never did. Okay, so for the people that haven't heard of him, he's known for breaking down the science of how to meditate and why it works when you do it correctly. And so he has a method of meditation where he uses music. So he uses frequencies, which are patterns and sound vibrations, which is a whole study, which will blow your mind if you ever go down that rabbit hole of the frequency of sound, and the patterns that frequencies make. And some frequencies make beautiful, very positive patterns. When you look at the patterns, you could look at them and just be like, wow, that looks beautiful. And like kind of like snowflakes, like certain frequencies make a specific pattern. And so you got good frequencies and bad frequencies. So he uses good frequencies that he makes into music. So as you meditate and you listening to these binaural beats with the music, and it's just it sets a aura, like the sound waves that travel around when you in his meditations, you listen to him. And then he guides you through the meditation step by step, and then each step of the meditation, it'll have a certain type of sound, and then he'll bring you into the next phase of the meditation. All right, and so that's the process of the meditations. And so here's the thing, right? And this is what blew my mind the most, because today, like I said, we're actually keeping the Day of Atonement, and I read the whole Bible during the pandemic, and is the most powerful knowledge that I came across. I'm 42 years old, so the Bible changed my life, and I choosing to read the Bible and read it from the perspective of like, how can I use the principles that I learn in it to like put it into my character and see what happens in my life. Like I was open-minded because I wasn't where I wanted to be in life, and I basically looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I might as well let go of everything I think I know and just try. I might as well just give the Bible a try. You know what I mean? And I had a guy. I had a guide for the Bible too, and someone that I look up to a lot that guided me through it, because the Bible real metaphorical, and it could be taken a lot of different ways, because you got metaphors and poems and everything like that. So it's kind of one person could read a line and get one thing out of it, and another person could read a line and get another thing out of it. So that's the thing about the Bible. You know, the original Bible was written in Hebrew, and then it was translated. That's a whole nother story that I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I'm just saying that to say that what I got out of the Bible is the importance of being a moral person, being a good person, a positive person, treating people right, understanding what morality is, being honest, you know, understanding what integrity is, having honor, having showing loyalty, you know, respect, you know, these things are what it is to be moral, and then to like say, okay, I'm gonna do these things, like, you know, don't indulge in like lust and greed and like trying to put fear in people and make them fear you so you can get what you want. Like the Bible is it's like a baseline, it's like a foundation of what it is to be a good person, you know what I mean? And so that's what I got out of the Bible. But what the Bible doesn't really go into is like the specifics of how to do the things you want to do and get what you want to get. And so I believe that the knowledge that, because the reason I got on this live is to talk about the event that we just came from, 7 days. We just was doing this event for 7 days. And I got on this live to just say what happened, what we experienced. So, for people that ain't aware could be aware of what's going on. It was 1,500 people at this event, right? First of all, before we went to the event, we had to do an online course. What it was called again? It was called the progressive course. So it's called the online progressive course. It's like 26 hours. So prior to coming, like for a month, me and my wife was studying this course, and we was doing the meditations in the course, and we was getting ready, because his whole thing is, okay, before you come to this week-long retreat, you got to understand the foundation knowledge so you can get the most out of it. This is the whole thing about it. So this isn't this, what I'm about to explain on this live is just scratching the surface. You know what I mean? Because I don't got time. Every day at this event, we was in the event between 14 and 16 hours. We was meditating every day for between 6 and 8 hours. We put in about 40 hours of meditation in 7 days. And I'm not exaggerating at all. It was 1,500 people there that did the same thing. All right? Okay, so bomb. And the reason why I'm breaking it down like this is because if I go right into the part that I want to tell you, if without giving you context, it probably a lot of people are gonna think I'm capping, or like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like, that don't even make no sense. Like what? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to make sense to you. So the first day of the retreat, it was like foundation knowledge, and the whole thing that he go into is what meditation is. It's about understanding where you can create from the quickest. And so he called it the quantum field. And there's a whole scientific community that understands what the quantum field is. I think throughout history it's been called different things. I honestly think that the quantum field, spiritual circles call it the Holy Spirit. You know, the Bible in Hebrew is called Yuchin Rash al-Islamic. Like, I think that it's all the same. Like, as I'm listening to him and I'm piecing the pieces together, I think the quantum field is the Holy Spirit. Like, you know, you got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, all three are one. And I always wondered, like, how are three different things one? I just couldn't get it. But I think it's because of the Holy Spirit. Everything is connected to, this is my opinion, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong or whatever is what I believe right now. But I think everything is connected to the quantum field or the Holy Spirit or whatever you want to call it. It's a thing. And so what it is, it's like, okay, for example, they got a machine that you could use that has matter, like physical matter. So in this world, you got physical matter, which are like particles that like you could touch, like it's physical. It's a wavelength, you know? And so everything is vibration. And so if you got, they created a vacuum and they put particles in there, and there's particles floating around in the air. There's physical particles, and you can remove all the particles with this vacuum. You can remove all physical matter from a space. So there is zero physical matter. There's no hydrogen, oxygen. There's nothing. There's no air in there. There's zero physical matter in that space. And then when they use like infrared and all different like high tech technology where you can see what's going on inside the vacuum, and you can see all the physical particles floating around in there and all of that. When you remove them, what's left is like it looked like waves just moving around. It's like motion, just moving around in there, and nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows what it is. But when you remove all physical matter from a space, it's like motion, just moving. All right, so this is what they say is the quantum field. It's the motion, it's everything that's beyond our senses. So when we're in the 3D dimensional world, like, we got our senses, you got the air, we could all touch each other, all of this is physical. But there's something that's right here too, that's behind it, that's not physical. And so I believe this is where we go when we sleep and we dream. We go into the quantum field or whatever like that. Like like how can we explain that we're some? When I dream, I don't know have you ever had a dream and where it seems super real? If you ever had a dream where it seems super real, drop a yes in the chat. If you never had a dream where it seems super real, drop a no. But if you ever had a dream that seemed like it was real, like, and you wake up and you're like, dang, that's crazy. Drop a yes if you ever had a dream that seemed real. Drop a no if you never did. Okay. Tab know what tell you what's good. Val know what I'm talking about. Daddy, I done had a lot of them where I wake up from my dream. I'll be confused. Like, damn, what? I got to remember where I'm at. Like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, so what was that all about? You know what I'm saying? So, okay. P, what's good? I see you. Yes, but yeah, okay. So I said that to make a point. So, okay, that I believe that those experiences are in the quantum field. And so what Joe does at this event, because what I'm doing on this live, I'm explaining the 7-day event me and my wife just went to with Joe Dispenza. And I got to give context to make the miracles that we've seen actually believable to whoever is going to believe what I'm saying. If you believe me, cool. If not, cool. Whatever. I know what I experienced and what we know. And everybody that was there know. And it's not like you can't go. Anybody can go to these events. So this is what I'm saying. So, right. So he explains the quantum field. So the whole thing with the meditation that Joe is known for is you get into a state, you close your eyes, you got headphones on, or at the event, it's a room, then they got the speakers with the sound vibrations, the beautiful music, the frequencies. It's just a vibe. Like you just gotta hear it to understand. And so it's the sound, and then he guides you through the meditation. And so the whole thing is the breath work. And I'm not gonna get into the details, but it's breath work that we was doing, and then it was mental work. It was mental work of not thinking about the physical world like that. It was mental work about thinking about space. So you got space and time. So the mental work is not thinking about physical and not thinking about time. So I'm not going into the past thinking about things that happened in my past. I'm not going into the future thinking about what I got to do later. I'm thinking only about space. So I'm thinking about like the space in my head or the space around my nose. I'm only thinking about space, and I'm quieting my mind to envision the dark. Because in the quantum field, what I think it is where everything is created from. I think it's a darkness there, like it's a black area that contains everything, including light. Like it's hard to explain. It's an area, right? And what caught my attention about Joe, right, which is crazy. I listened to a podcast. If you haven't heard this podcast, I highly recommend it. His name is Joe Dispenza. You can look up Joe Dispenza, Diary of a CEO podcast. Look up Joe Dispenza on YouTube. It's free. That's the podcast that I listened to when we was on our road trip to Wisconsin. I was driving. I had my headphone in. Everybody was asleep, and I was listening to this podcast. I was listening to a lot of Diary of a CEO. I like that podcast. It's dope. It's just full of a lot of good information. But anyway, so I listened to Joe Dispenza, but he stood out. And so what caught my attention about him, he was talking about the dark space of the quantum field. And visually, when you're there, all you see is darkness, right? And I had an experience like that years and years ago. I actually took a bunch of mushrooms, just being fully transparent. Something in my spirit felt like I needed to go on a quest. It was something I needed to learn. And so I took a bunch of them. And I went on a trip. Like, and that's a whole nother story. I'm not going to get into the details. But I ended up coming out my body, and I was a ball of light, and I was in a black void. And I was trying, like I told my wife about this. I told my homeboys, like people that I know. I actually talked about it on a live once. It was when I was there. I knew when I was there in the void, and I just started seeing visions from inside the void. I could hear my ancestors talking about me, and one of them could hear me. They were speaking a different language, and I knew what they were saying, and I was speaking the language back, but I was hearing English at the same. It was crazy. But when I was in that space, I knew that it was a real place. It's the best way I could explain it. So when I was listening to this podcast, this is what caught my attention about him. When I was listening to the podcast, he was talking about the void and how it was the black space where everything is created. And so I caught chill bumps. And so I listened to the whole podcast, whatever. I ended up getting one of his books. And then in the podcast, he was talking about these events that he did. This is why after I read the book, I was like, babe, man, I showed my wife that sent her the link for the podcast. And I was curious, was she going to be interested in it? Because I told her, I'm finna go to one of these events. And if you want to come, we could both go. You feel me? And so she watched the whole podcast, and she was super into it. So we ended up both coming out here. So anyways, the point is, it's a method where you can mentally take yourself into that void. So it's a method of breath work, being aware of only space, the sound vibrations, and then mentally taking yourself into that void. And from there, you can create. And so when it comes to creation, the knowledge is, okay, it's about intention. So it's about thought, and it's about the emotion behind what the intention is going to bring you. So let's say, for example, I'll use my example. Like the reason why went out there is because I want to attract like massive amounts of money, but really be able to focus on helping people. I want it to be in a way that's easy. It's not hard, because really what's been going on is we're busy all day. From when we wake up, me and my wife, we're building what we're building together, and it's a grind what I'm on right now. And I love what I'm doing. I'm grateful for it and everything, but I know that if I don't change something, it's gonna get like it's gonna drain me. The way that I'm going about what I'm doing right now is not. I gotta do something different to get what I see inside my mind as possible. It's something outside of what I'm doing. And so I went there to see if this is going to be able to help me do that, if that makes sense. I know I'm talking a lot, man. If this makes sense what I'm saying, drop a 4 in the chat. If it's making sense what I'm saying, drop a 4 in the chat. I want to see you locked in. I know I'm talking a lot, but I know this is for somebody, and I don't want to lose you, because I'm getting to something. And trust me, if you choose to do this, you will see what I'm talking about. I'm telling you right now. Val, what they do. Eric, what's good? Ford, what's popping? Maurice, what's popping? Okay, good. We got some people locked in. Not as many people. I think Facebook side is lagging. Joel, what they do, man? Makai, what's popping? That's our son's day. Randy, what's good? All right, LA. Okay, cool. So my whole thing is, so the thing about creation, once you find yourself inside the void, now it's a space where you can create. And then he walks you through that process when you in the meditation. And I'm telling you something, time changes. Everything changes because I was meditating before this, but I didn't know meditation could be like this. I was doing it different, and it wasn't nothing like this. And so once you get in there, it's like, okay, now I'm thinking about what I want to manifest, and I'm thinking about the emotion behind it. So for me, it's like, okay, for me to manifest a situation where I'm helping a lot of people, and I'm getting the gratitude from them, and I'm grateful for them, and it's the mutual exchange that's happening. Because one of the best feelings that I've realized about that I could feel in life is when I give. When I love the way it feels to give, like, and not sweat it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just love the way that feels, and to see someone really appreciate it. And I love when people give to me. I love the way it feels when people give to me and it's genuine and they just out of love, like, hey, Jabez, check this out. I got this for you. Man, it feels good. And so I'm just in my what I'm manifesting is, okay, to be able to give and to be able to receive, like, a lot, both give and receive a lot, and for it to be a way where I could put in 4 hours of work in a week, and it's a whole bunch of motion that's going to happen. It's a whole bunch of motion that's going to happen. That's going to bring a whole lot of value to a whole lot of people. And there's people doing it. And so I can enjoy my family, and I can enjoy the world. I could learn. I could travel. I could spend time looking up the stuff I want to look up, and go to the libraries that I want to go to across the world, and talk to the elders across the world. I could do all the things I want to do and connect with the powerful families, and our family can become powerful and more powerful and all of that. This is what I want to do. And it takes time to do all of those things. So, okay, bomb. So this is what I'm manifesting that. So I'm feeling the emotion of that, and it feels good. If I feel gratitude, I feel euphoria, I feel power, I feel peace, I feel joy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so as I'm in my meditation, I'm thinking about what I want to manifest, and I'm feeling the emotion about it. Now, this is really important inside the meditation, to be able to do this while you're in the void. And this is what I'm saying. So, and then it's about what does that opportunity look like? So it's not about thinking about how am I going to do it. It's just feeling the emotions of it in the void and seeing the outcome in the void, but not thinking about the details of how it's going to happen. So he's real good at explaining the science and all. Like I said, we was in this it was 14 to 16 hours a day for 7 days. We meditated for 40 hours the last 7 days. So he teach, and then we meditate. Teach, break down what just happened, and then meditate. Teach, break down what just happened, and then meditate. We're talking to each other about what we experienced, what we loved about it, what we're going to do better next time. Teach, break down what that. This is the process that we went over for 7 days. So it's a lot of information that happened. And so then it's about, what does that opportunity look like when you're in the void? So for me, it's like, because it's important, like when you want what you want to attract, that you attract the right type of opportunity, you know, like I could want, whatever. Let me just give an example. So for my opportunity, it's like an opportunity where everybody that's involved is moral and ethical and trustworthy and fun and super smart and wants to be involved and passionate and loving, you know what I mean? And like crazy brilliant, to where we know how to, everybody that's involved in what's going on know how to make things shake quick. You know what I mean? Oh, all I got to do is go over here, and we could hit 1 million people over here like this. We could hit 150,000. That's very, very important over here like this. Like, so in my mind, I'm thinking about the opportunity and what it looked like. And so I don't want to be working super hard. Like, I just want to be intentional with my work, and for it to be able to get in front of a whole bunch of people and the message to be clear and impactful. So this is how I'm thinking as I'm in the void, right? This is just an example of one meditation. And we did 3 meditations. One day we did 4 every day, right? Each meditation is about 2 hours. You be in a meditation, it seemed like it's about an hour. Some of them was like 1:20. Some of them was, we did one meditation. We meditated for 5 hours. Blew my mind. He got us out there at 4 o'clock in the morning. 1,500 people. We was at the Gaylord Opry Resort right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Man, first of all, this resort is huge. Like, I never seen nothing like, it got 3 it's like glass roofs. It's like a big greenhouse, like 3, and they got like, it's like a jungle in there with like restaurants. You walking through the jungle. It's all plants. They got fruit trees in there where I was picking lemon. I picked a lemon off the tree and everything. But yeah, it's like a big convention center resort situation in Nashville. But that's where it was at. And he had us out there 4 o'clock in the morning, is the point I'm trying to make. And we went into the meditation 4 o'clock in the morning. And that meditation was to activate the pineal gland. And when you activate the pineal gland, what happens is you could lucid dream, and you can he break down the science of how our brain can literally produces chemicals. And This isn't no like theoretical talk that I'm talking about. They have proven all of this with scientists and tests. Like this is scientifically proven, and this is public knowledge that I'm telling you right now. And so our bodies is a chemical manufacturer. And so what I'm saying is, right, and I know about like chemical drugs and all of that, like, cause I when growing up I did too much of all of that, So I know firsthand experience what it feels like to be under the influence, right? And so what I'm saying is during the meditation, I felt like I was under the influence multiple times, using the breath, different techniques. So our brain can produce DMT. This is a fact. Like this has been measured. Like the brain can produce DMT, and if you don't know what that is, that's like it make you hallucinate crazy and have visions. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But so the meditation that I'm talking about, where we went in at 4 in the morning, this was on day 3. No, this was day 4. Was it? Yeah, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this was day 4. We did the pineal gland activation meditation for the hope of having a lucid dream or seeing beyond the veil, basically. And so he was given a testimonial of like when he activated his pineal gland and produced DMT, and he told the story of what happened to him, and it was just beyond belief. He went into his future self and seen where he was and spoke to beings, and it was just a wild story. And I can relate because I've had an experience on mushrooms that was kind of similar. And so, but this was natural. It was a natural thing because of how much he works on himself inwardly and is intentional about creating chemicals inside his body for intentional purposes. And so he got everybody hyped up to get there 4 o'clock in the morning. Dude, Joe Dispenza blows my mind what he does, man. Like I'm still processing everything because I'm telling you, first of all, I never would have thought in life I would pay, because it was $2,000 for a ticket, which he could have charged way more than that, because I'm getting to the very, very impressive part here in a second of the miracles that we've seen on the last 3 days, right? So I would have never paid money to wake up 4 o'clock in the morning and meditate for 5 hours. But the crazy thing is, it seemed long. Like it was a crazy long meditation. I'm not going to get into the details because I don't want to bore you. But point is, it seemed like a long time. It seemed like it was probably about 3 hours. But when we came out the meditation and we found out that 5 hours passed, everybody was like, what? And when everybody was like, hours, for everybody, it was at least an hour or 2 or 3 that was like, what happened? It was one of them things. But during that meditation, let me tell you what happened for me. My brain was going back and forth. Like my brain will wander, you know what I'm saying? And so that's the whole work of meditation, is controlling my mind to stay outside of thinking about the future, thinking about the past, realizing when I'm going into like kind of like a dream state, because the whole thing about meditation is slowing the brain waves down, because you have the beta, which is like the thinking conscious awareness. Then you got alpha, and then you got theta. So when you get down out of the beta into the alpha and the theta, when you get into that range, that's where you could enter into the quantum field, or into the Holy Spirit, or whatever you want to call it. You could enter into there and you can create from that space. But it's a way to slow your brain waves down. But then you could slow down even more and go into delta, and you go into sleep at that point, and you're done. So once you go to sleep, you can't be intentional about a meditation. You're sleeping. You know what I mean? And so it's about learning how to linger in that theta and alpha state, but more into the theta state of, yeah, theta. Excuse me, I'm saying it wrong. Theta, the theta state. All right, so this is what happened for me. My mind was wandering. I kept noticing myself kind of going into like a dream state. I was thinking, all type of thoughts was going through my head. I'm bringing myself back into the present, and we're going through the breath work and there's all type of techniques that's going on in here. Like I said, I don't got time for the details. And at the end, the very end of this meditation, this is what happened for me. I was laying down, and all of a sudden I was looking at my legs, I seen my jeans, what I was wearing, I was seeing the ground that we was laying on, and I had my phone in my hand like this, and I was looking at my phone, and I believe it was on Facebook, and then I was like, damn, what, I'm dreaming? Like for a second, I was like, wait a minute, what? And I'm like, why I'm looking at my phone? It's just what I was thinking. I'm like, what? Because when I was looking at my phone, it looked just like how I'm looking at my phone right now. It looked just like this. Like it just looked like my eyes was open. I was looking at my phone. So I'm like, but I got the shades on when I was meditating to block all the light out. You know them shades you could wear? I got them on blocking all the light out. So I'm like, is my eyes open? So I opened my eyes underneath my shades. So I was closing my eyes and opening my eyes, but nothing. It wasn't like I was blinking or nothing. Like it was just a steady image of me looking at my phone. And so that's when I was like, what the heck? It showed Facebook, and then the screen went down like this. In the top of the screen, I seen behind myself and my wife when we was walking down the aisle after our wedding was over and everybody was cheering. I went back to that moment during our wedding. So she was on the left, I was on the right, I was behind us. And so I started like drifting towards myself, like I was about to enter into my body through the phone. And so I'm like tripping, right? And so right when I was about to get to the phone, Dr. Joe says, come back to me. And that's how we always end the meditations. Like when you deep into meditation, he'll say, come back to me, and do it slow and like remember everything that just happened. It's a process of bringing you back, right? So he's like, come back to me. And I was like, no. And the hole just closed on me. And then I was like, oh, that's crazy. It happened right at the end. And so I didn't know what to think about it, man. I was tripping, and then I learned it was 5 hours, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And then, everybody was talking to each other about their experiences and da-da-da-da. We went and got something to eat. We do lunch and breakfast all together and everything like that. Everybody was talking. I was trying to figure out what just happened, But it wasn't until the next day that I feel like I realized what it was. But that's more from me or whatever. That's a personal thing. But anyway, so that happened on day 4. So now let me speak day 5. I'm talking about the event that we just went to, right? This is just 3 days ago now. And so day 5, we go in there. This is going to be the first day of they call it the Coherent healing. It's a coherent healing. And so he has hundreds of healing, over 1,000, matter of fact, healing testimonials of people that couldn't walk, couldn't see, that got their sight back and couldn't walk and started walking. People that doctors told them that I'm talking about all type of breast cancer tumors that disappeared. I'm talking about unbelievable testimonials and massive amounts of them, right? Don't believe me? Look it up. This is public information, what I'm telling you, right? Okay. So what he does is these coherent healings where, so it's 1,500 people that came to this event, right? And a lot of people that came to this event in Nashville had health problems. People had cancer, all different type of health problems, back problems. Like it was a group of veterans there that had PTSD that went through all type of crazy things in war, and they was trying to get their mind right. You know what I mean? All different people that had severe anxiety, depression. Different type of muscular conditions where sometimes people can't use their muscles right. People came there with that, and so there was that. And so on day 3, so this is how we do the healings, right? Everybody's a part of it. Either you're going to be a healer or a healee. And so it was probably like 100 people that were healees, right? And everybody else was healers. But he was saying, and there's all type of testimonies that people that were healers that had health issues were cured while they were intentionally trying to heal somebody else. Their sickness went away, their problem, their health issue went away. And so how it works is everybody goes in and it's crazy intentional. Like I can't explain enough how intentional this situation is. Like you just gotta really you gotta go to understand. So it's super intentional, super organized. His staff and everybody there is next level. Like I've never been to an event like this. And so everybody lines up outside. He has everybody that has a Healy that's that's getting healed inside. So it's like probably 100 or more people inside. And so this is how it works. It's like it looked like this. Let me draw it out. It's like 1, 2, 3 seats, and then this is where the person that's getting healed is laying down in the middle, and then it's 1, 2, 3 seats like this. So there's a person sitting here, right here, right here. Then this is the person getting healed, and then the person sitting right here, and right here, right? And then there's another one right next to it. Same thing, 3 people. So it's rows like this of people, all the way through 1,500 people. So it's just rows like this, right? And then everybody sits around people, right? He got the music playing. You walking into the room with the music playing, people already starting to cry, like joyful tears. So like you already, as soon as you walk in the room during the coherent healing, it's a feeling that I felt that I never felt, right? So we walk in the room, we go in there, right? Bam. We sit down, and then he starts the process, and it's a process again. And then it get to a point of the process where it's all about love. The healing comes from love, the emotion of love, right? And so it's a process where you get into the love state of the heart. And we did a lot of work on the energy centers. You got the first energy center, which is the root chakra, which are the chakras, the second energy center, the third energy center. The heart is the fourth energy center. Then you got the fifth energy center, the sixth energy center, which sets over the pineal gland in the middle of the brain, the seventh energy center, and the eighth energy center sit up like this. These are all measured. This is a fact. Everybody, some people call them chakras, energy centers, whatever you want to call them. It's the thing. And so all week we've been doing work on our energy centers, right? Getting them balanced and aligned. So we focusing on the energy center, right? During the healing, the heart. We're focusing on the heart and the mind, and we're getting them in sync. So while we're all sitting around, everybody's doing this work as the music is going, and we're getting talked through the meditation. We're syncing our heart and our mind to the frequency of love and healing, right? And then we rub our hands together like this. Everybody's doing the same thing, and then we separate our hands. Do this right now. This will trip you out. Rub your hands like this. If you're watching this live, right? Rub your hands like this, and then move them real slowly apart from each other, and see if you could feel like a tingling. If you did it right now and you could feel the tingling, drop a 4 in the chat. If you did it and you can feel that tingling, drop a 4 in the chat. It's like a warmth or a tingling. Drop a 4 if you felt it, if you just did it. Go like this. I'm telling you, I'm trying for you to feel this right now. David know what I'm talking about. F, what they do. Rogers, what's up? All right. Teo, what's popping? Jen. So anyways, so we do this, right? We do this, and then it's like we're feeling the energy of love, and then we amplify it, and then we put our hands out and we project it to the person with our eyes closed, right? So when I went in there, I prayed. And when I prayed, I learned about this from someone very special. And it blows my mind how much it works when I pray this prayer. I pray to Yude Wafe, and then I pray through the son Yude Wafe, Betnun Yude Wafe, who brought me into the knowledge of Yude Wafe. So he was the door into the knowledge. And in the Holy Spirit is Yuchin Rash al-Islamic, so that's Hebrew. So when I pray to all three as one, with respect and admiration, facing the east, I done lost count of how many times my prayer was answered. It's mind-blowing. I pray in the name of Yude Wafe, Betnut Yude Wafe, and Yushin Rash al-Islamic, right? So before I went in there, I prayed that prayer. And I prayed to be able to be a conduit to connect everybody's energy, because that's the part. All of us tune into each other. All the healers tune into each other's energy. And so first we send our love and energy into the person. Then we all connect our energy into the person. And so what I did in my mind, I put a ball of light. In my mind, I could see all three of us. I could see the Healy and a ball of light over them as I'm with my eyes covered. And all of our energy went like a laser up to that ball of light above the Healy. And then I dropped the laser down into the Healy as I was doing like this, and like the light amplified, and Buddy went to shaking. The first person, it was because we did this 3 days in a row. The first person that I was in the group with, he went to shaking, and he was like, he was crying, and he was making like he was crying, like laughing and shaking, and but I could hear him. But I had my eyes closed. And what I'm telling you, I have never felt. I'm talking about tears just running down my face like this. I'm talking about just like a steady flow of water. I have never cried like this, like a crying like this. Like it was just a steady flow, like someone cut on a water faucet and you just leave it turn on just a little bit. It was a stream like that. It's just coming out of my eyes. And I was like, it was a feeling came over my body. And it was like, you could start hearing the whole room. People would like be like, ah, ah. Like it was like, and then people was laughing, people was shaking. It's just so much energy in the room. It will blow your mind, man. You just gotta be there to understand what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying my best to put it into words. The feeling that came over my body, so when it was all done, he sat up and he was like, we all went to talking in the group, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, he was crying. Everybody was crying. All 6 of us was crying. And, but like not a sad crying, like a happy, joyful, beyond belief, like what just happened, like amazed at what just happened. This is how we was all crying, and we was all just looking at each other like, what just happened? And then we went to talking, and he had something was wrong with his back. I didn't want to ask him what his problem was because I really didn't. I just wanted him to be healed, and so he was saying, I just asked him what happened, and he was saying that he couldn't stop shaking, like it was something hit him, and he couldn't stop shaking. And whatever he said, my back, the pain, it's not like it don't hurt. There's still a sensation there. It's different, and it don't hurt nearly as much, is what he said. He said something just happened. Right? So there was another dude that I sat next to. His name Pat. Shout out Pat. He was walking with a cane, and I linked up with him, I think day 1 or day 2, whatever. We just was chopping it up random, but we had a super cool conversation. She was super cool. He ended up, I could tell you the story, but not to get sidetracked. Anyways, he was walking with a cane. He had a super limp, and he had cancer. He had ended up getting cancer, and it was working. I guess it was working on his bones, and it's making it very hard for him to walk. And but he used to be like he got wealthy selling DVDs, and he was into marketing. And so he told me his story, and he went to a Joe Dispenza event before, and he didn't all the way get over the cancer, but it was pretty much gone. So he went and he kept consistent with his meditations, and it was pretty much gone. And then he stopped doing the meditations, and he got into like another form of healing that was a little more easier. It wasn't as much time because he busy, like money motivated, and the cancer came back. So this over a period of a few years or whatever, so he came back again. And so I seen him after the healing the next day, and he was walking around without the cane. It was another lady that we was sitting next to, had super pain in her arm. I'm talking about crazy pain. She had a sling, and her arm was like this, and she was explaining like it was she'd been dealing with this pain for the longest in her arm. We were sitting next to her, and then she was walking around dancing and all that. She was saying she ain't felt pain in a couple of days, like, and I could go on and on and on and on. The second day we did the healing, it was the same situation. We went in there, which was 2 days ago. We went in there. It was a different lady. It was a different group that I was with, and we did the process, and same thing was going on. I'm just like, it was just a overwhelming emotion of love. Like it was just I've never experienced anything like this. It was an overwhelming emotion of love, and she after the meditation, during the meditation, it was like, because it was always 6 people like how I was showing, but on this meditation, It was me and a girl sitting right here, and then it was a guy and two girls sitting right here. And nobody was right here in this seat. This seat was empty. So during the meditation, I don't even know why I thought to do this, but during the meditation, I created a crystal in my mind, and I turned it into light, and I sat it in the seat next to me. So this way I could connect everybody's energy, because I prayed that I could be a conduit to make sure that all our energy is connected so it could be amplified so we could heal this person, right? I put the crystal next to me, and then the process started. And then in my mind during this meditation, I could see the three of them. Like, it looked like I was in blackness, but I could see, like, it almost kind of looked like ghosts, but there was like a bluish, almost like electric. Like I could see their electric aura or something. I seen the three of them sitting right there. I could see the girl sitting right next to me. And there was someone sitting right next to me right here. But it was because I thought I was going to see the crystal that I put down there. When I was doing like this, I could notice it was a person next to me, but it wasn't the same color. Like, we was all like bright blue, like a bright bluish color, and they was more like a super, it was less. It was like, it wasn't as bright, but it was a person. So I was like tripping over that. And so as whatever. And then afterwards, I overheard the guy, because she was saying thank you to everybody. She was crying. She was saying how much better she felt. Like, she couldn't believe it. Like, she was trying to find the words. She was just thinking it was just one of them. Like, if you ever been through a moment that's unbelievable, you got to process it. It take a second. Like, you don't even know what to say. Like, what just happened? It was like that. And so the guy was like, the guy that was sitting across from me like this, he was like, there was a person in that seat over there. I could see him. And she was like, what? And then the daughter was like, oh my God. And she went to speaking to her, because they was from Costa Rica. She went to speaking to her, and come to find out, it was her mom that was being healed. The daughter was sitting next to me, and it was her mom that was being healed. So the daughter was sitting right here. This is just 2 days ago. And she was like, she said she seen somebody walking back and forth behind her mom, and then stopped behind her and started rubbing her on the shoulders. Right? And so, whatever. And then the third day, yesterday, it was another one that was the same type experience, just unbelievable. And so then it was like the testimonials that was starting to come out. And then he showed more testimonials of other people that got healed in their stories, and they was explaining what happened. And he was saying, they were saying that they seen beings too. Like, they seen people, or like tall, like super tall people. They gave their testimonies during the healing. I'm talking about people that got healed, what they seen while their eyes were closed during the healing. Right? And so I say all that to say this. What I think is, we just wasn't given the tools. You know, like, we go to school and we learn about science and math and history and social studies, and you know what I mean? We learn things, and it's cool and all that, but like, the real knowledge of how to tap into what we really capable of, it was withheld from us. I really believe that. And so, but the knowledge is out here though. It's out here. It's been like divided and split up. Like, I got my life changed from learning the knowledge of the Bible. I changed as a person. I literally changed my name. My wife knew me before and after, everybody that know me and my family and friends and all of that, like, they know how much I've changed from the knowledge in the Bible, But I believe that there's things that probably was in the old Bible that got took out. There's knowledge out here about how to really create the life that you want, and how to be able to literally be involved with miracles. I mean, there's stories of miracles in the Bible. People was doing miracles. And what I'm saying is, I just seen it. I just seen miracles, like a lot of them. Like, there was miracles happening. There was 1,500 people there. I just seen the miracles in the area of people that I was in. But it was people over here laughing, hysterically talking. Everybody was excited. People crying. The whole room of 1,500 people worth of miracles. I just seen it. And if you don't believe me, go to one of the events, man. I'm telling you what's going on. Solomon was my hero until I finished the story. And you know what? That's a great point. And Solomon is a great story. And what I think happened with him, if the story is true and everything like that, which I think it is, it's kind of like what I've noticed with multiple people that I spoke with at this event. They came into the set of knowledge, they were practicing it, they got a result, and then they stopped practicing it, and then they fell from grace. So what I'm thinking the lesson that I think is that when it's good knowledge, godly knowledge, positive knowledge, ethical knowledge, powerful knowledge of what to practice to get what you want, and you consistently practice it with intention and belief and drive and desire and all the things that are needed, and you practice it, you're gonna get a result if it's real knowledge. If it's real true knowledge and you really truly practice it, you're gonna get a result. And once you get the result, you'll be like, dang, this works for real. And so then at that point, you could accumulate a lot of whatever it is you accumulate, and then you could get sidetracked. And then you could, now that you've accumulated all these things, you might be traveling the world, you might start partying, you might meet this person that knows these fun things over here that are going on that ain't in the same knowledge. They say, you sliding over there doing that, you're having a lot of fun, but it ain't feeding you. It ain't feeding you and making you bigger. It's draining from you. Even though it's fun, it's draining from you. That's why at the end, when you read Psalms, Solomon, at the end, he went back and he said, I messed up. And I respect that, because I know what it's like, man, to get up and then start tripping, So I'm doing my best not to let that happen, but it can happen to anybody. That's what I think. You have the tools. We have the tools, but how to use them without fear and judgment of the opposite collective norm. That's a great point, Val. And what I think about that is, how I say this, I'm working on within myself getting to the point of genuinely not caring what people think, because it's not about them. I have to live in my body and be in the now, in the present moment within me forever. Like, this is it for me. All I got is what my experience from my perception and what I see outside. So if somebody else don't like what I'm doing, that's outside of me. I can't control that. You know what I'm saying? I can't control it. If they judge me, if they spray me socially, whatever, if they make it seem like I'm doing something that I'm not, if they don't understand, if they lie on me, whatever they choose to do inside their perspective of reality is on them. I don't know. I can't. All I can do is focus on making myself the best version of myself for me, and I know that by doing that, I'm going to be the best version for the people that I love, because I know how I feel about the people that I love and how important it is to give. So the more I work on me and don't care what people think, and the more that I want to be, one of the things I want to do is be able to give in abundance. I give in abundance compared to what I got right now. But I want to be able to give more. And so the more I work on myself, the more I could give to the people that I love, and the people that's not giving love to me or judgment. If the people that are outside of that box, they're just not going to be able to receive. So that's too bad for them. You feel me? That's too bad for them. I feel bad for them. They might come around. The more you are blessed with, the more the devil will tempt you. Maybe so, man. That might be true, man. You didn't answer my question, Wanda. I didn't see the question, Winona. Excuse me. What was your question? I'm going back to see if I see it. I just now noticed you wrote that. I missed it, Winona. You got to drop it, because I'm looking at two different pages. Yes, I am. I had cancer and grew up as an unwanted child, and I have lost in my life. Loss in my life that made me grow. I went to a healing, and my cancer was gone. I also had a family of 7 children, and had losses of a husband and raised. I'm sorry to hear that, Patricia. And raised my family on my own, man. But I prayed and I became successful through the power of prayer. Without prayer, I'm no one's. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up, Patricia. Congratulations. You know what I mean? Congratulations. See, there go a miracle right there. Right there in the comments, man. And I think prayer is like and even in the Bible it say, because I pray every day, you know. And even in the Bible, it talk about prayer in the Bible, and it also say to meditate in the Word day and night. And but then it don't really go into details of how to meditate, you know. So I think the power of prayer, when you really are intentional in a prayer, it's like a meditation. And then there's methods where you can go deeper and deeper into it. You know what I mean? What is the event called? So this one was called what it was called? This one with Dr. Joe Bay? My wife about to tell me. It's a 7-day event. If you look up Joe Dispenza's 7-day retreats, you'll see them. They'll pop up. The next one he have is in Orlando. Everyone got a title and a theme. You know what I mean? But he do 10-day events, 7-day events, 3-day events, 5-day events, different events. You know? But Joe Dispenza, that's who if you just look it up, you'll start to see all type. He got all type of. He's very, very findable. I think a good starting point just to get an idea of what's going on. It's called The Unknown. The event was called The Unknown. Yeah. The Unknown. A complete unknown. Yeah, A Complete Unknown. That's what it was called. I have been loving your content. I have a gardening show and would love to have you on to talk all about growing. Enoch, I like that name. Email us, man. Email us at jabez@gonaturalite.com. And put some links to what you got going on. You feel me? And then we could connect like that. And we can see if it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Or we can make it make sense or whatever, you know? But that's the best way to get in contact. Jabez at gonaturalite, gonaturalite.com. How to lose your mind and create a new one. I think that might have been one of the books he wrote. The only book I read that he wrote was called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I believe that's what it was called. What's the greatest lesson that you have learned in this life so far? I think it's kind of like, that's a good question. There's so many of them, and there's a lot that I kind of put on a similar like plane of importance, I guess. But I think my foundation knowledge is the Bible. By far, everything is built on that knowledge. So even going to this, like, even though I seen more miracles at this event than I seen from learning the Bible, potentially, like more rapid, like back to back to back. But the foundation knowledge of the Bible, for a lot of different reasons, and I won't get into all of them, it'll just take too long, I think is the most important, like the foundation knowledge of morality and ethics, and an awareness of where I come from and the power that's in me, and how important it is to understand the rules and follow them, and don't follow behind other people that are outside of those rules, you know. I think is the most important, you know. And I think the knowledge, and it all comes back to love. I think it all comes back to love. Love is the most important thing, you know. It's the most powerful thing. Anything underneath love frequency is not worth my time, man. It's not. But what's crazy is, even the hard times, the pain and the hate and all of that, it's like all of those are great exercise. So it's a blessing. Like, all the hardest things that I've been through in life, I wouldn't understand what I understand now if I didn't go through them. And then now, as they come to me, because people are going to die, people are going to disrespect, people are going to lie, people are going to cheat, people are going to steal, people are going to do things that aren't in love with themselves and other people. People that aren't inside the vibration of love are gonna do these type of things, and they're doing them to themselves, and so you know they're gonna do it to the people around them, and I might come in contact with them, and so now when that happens, I can control myself in that moment. I can control myself to stay in the vibration of love in that moment, and it's hard to do that. But when I can do that all the time, I'm a master of love. So it don't matter what other people are doing. I keep my vibe up. I'm happy. I'm good. You get what I'm saying? I see the good in whatever it is that happens. And so that's the I think that's the big blessing of the challenge of just being a human in this reality, you know, having to deal with all these things and keep the vibe in love, you know? Love is powerful, and if you live by it, you will always have control. That's a fact, Patricia. That's a fact, man. Time travel looks like the Donnie Darko movie. I don't know that movie, but I believe it is a thing. I believe time traveling is a thing. Do you smoke herb? I used to. I don't smoke like that no more. If I ever did want to, I would. But I'm pretty much. That's a rarity. You know what I mean? And I doubt I ever will again. To be honest with you, it's been a long time. It's one of them things, though. You know, like I don't think it. Here's the thing. This is what especially after this week, when it comes to like substances and all, because I like to drink wine and all that, and if I want to, I will. You know, but I'm getting to a space that I've never been in, where when it comes to substances, especially after these meditations, man, this breath work that you can do to give you a vibe, man. I was just doing it, like it give you a vibe, and then like I'm coming out of meditations just feeling grateful, like I feel good, like my body loose, like I'm like, man, it's almost like dope for real, like, and I didn't even have to do nothing, but then my mind working, I'm having better thoughts, like I feel better, like this is better, it's better. You know what I'm saying? I was doing all them things because I didn't know about it. Like I didn't know that this was possible. And it wasn't nobody showing me that had a sauce to them that I wanted to be like. Like the people that was meditating and all that I knew, I don't know, like to me, they was kind of weird. Like their vibe was kind of weird to be like, I was like, I don't know. I was young-minded too. So, and then I was programmed. That's another thing, like meditation is really like a form of hypnosis programming. Like it's like I'm self-programming myself to be in a different program than what YouTube programs me to be in, Instagram and Facebook and the news and radio, and you get what I'm saying? Like it's a programming that's happening around us at all times, you know, that encourages, partying just as part of the program, partying, drugs, alcohol, and, like sex and things that are fun in a way, but also destructive in a way, you know? And so me personally, I fell into that program. And I was all in, you know. I liked all of that. I liked partying. I used to promote strip clubs and all that. I go to strip clubs, regular clubs. I was promoting clubs. I was doing all that, stimulating my mind like that. And I lived all of that. And it was fun in the moment. And then the next day I felt horrible. I've had some next days where I could barely move the next day. And I was off the map. I was off the map for the whole 24-hour period. My kids coming in and out the room, I could barely be there for them. Like, I'm just telling them I don't feel good. You get what I'm saying? So is it really good? It was good for a while. But doing this type of work, it's not as easy. Like it ain't as easy as just taking a pill or smoking or having a few drinks and I feel something. I gotta get in there and meditate, and it might take an hour and a half before I feel it. You get what I'm saying? But when I feel it, it charged me up. I have a new awareness, and it's like I stay good. The next day I wake up feeling even better than yesterday. So it's harder up front, but more beneficial on the back end. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm like, okay, this is smarter. It's smarter to do it this way. It might be a little more harder up front, but it's smarter. Yeah, we need to teach. Yeah, Denisha, it's a fact. It's a fact. And I was thinking about that. So that I'm on my study right now of because I'm learning all this as I grow, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning all this as I grow, so I'm on my study of mastering myself and having some years of success with it, you know? When it comes to meditation, I have never been consistent. I've been on and off, you know? But I've been doing it, but I've been on and off. I've been consistent with prayer, but I've been on and off with meditation. So I'm dedicating myself to getting consistent. I want to be consistent for a few years and then see where I'm at. I already dedicated myself to a year. The next 365 days, I got to meditate every day, even if it's a day where it's only 15 minutes. But I'm trying to get at least an hour plus in every day. And so my goal, what I'm saying, okay, I got to wake up earlier. I'm going to wake up early and get me a meditation in every day and see where I'm at. I know where I'm at right now. I know what I have going. I know the what I have to do to generate the money that we're making. I know what I have to do to have the type of relationship with my wife, with my kids. I already know what I know, and I know the result of what I'm doing now. So now I'm adding something different. I'm gonna meditate every day like this with this method and see where I'm at in a year. If I'm at in a whole different area of life, I'll know it's because of the meditation. And so now, okay, I know it worked. So now I feel confident to teach. You feel me? That's how I like to do it. Let me put my work in for at least a year, 2 years before I start trying to show other people how to do it. I can talk about meditation all day. I'm telling you, after what I just experienced, Val, do you know about Joe Dispenza, Val? Because if you don't, I highly encourage you. Look them up right now. If you go on YouTube and you YouTube search, I get off my live right now and go on that and look at Joe. Go and look at Diary of a CEO, Joe Dispenza interview. How you spell his name? D-E-S. Dispenza. Like that. Joe Dispenza. Dispenza. And go look at Diary of a CEO. Like that. Diary of a CEO, Joe Dispenza. I get off this live right now. If you never heard of him and you got a little bit of time right now today, I get off this live and I would watch that whole podcast. And then make your mind up from there what you want to do. Just listen with an open mind. Because I'm telling you what me and my wife just seen miracles, man. Miracles. If I felt a miracle inside myself multiple times. I'm curious about the future. I'm curious. I'm curious what's about to happen, man. Like, I already know what happened inside of me. I know I'm not the same person as I was before this week. I'm telling you right now. I got a different awareness of reality. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Yep, that's the book that I read. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Yep. Yeah, he do these events, Val. If you ain't been to one of his events, gamma waves, highest frequency. Yeah, you know what it is. Val know what's up. Have you went to one of his events? The gamma waves, I believe when he talk about them gamma waves, right? I was trying to hit the gamma wave. So how it works is you got like I'll try to explain it. It's like this. You got like pure consciousness, right? Which is like, it's like beyond vibration. Everything is vibrational. Pure consciousness is like beyond vibration. So that's what they call like the quantum field. And then everything that comes from the quantum field is like vibration. So you got like high vibration, and then they're like waves, and you got like the next wave, and then you got like the next wave of vibration, and then you got like this wave of vibration, and then you got like this. So like this is like consciousness, like beyond vibration, and then the next wave is like the next level of consciousness. But what they say in science is like it's like a pendulum that swings. So like when you're looking at vibration, it's like up and down like this. So at the top point before reverse and go back down, there's no motion. Like, you know, like if you go up like this, when you all the way at the top, you ain't going up or down. It's like a moment in time when there's no motion. You at the top point of a vibration, and then when you come back down, there's a moment, a brief moment where there's no vibration right there at the bottom, and it only happens right there at the complete bottom, and then you back up. So the space in between here and here, this is space and time, right here. And then this is where there's no time. So this is really this, right? And so these are the points in time that are like pure consciousness. So this is where there's like when you dream, we're here. But physical matter is like the slowest vibration from my awareness of what I understand right now. It's way down here. So like this is where we're at. So we're only, so the vibrations are moving so slow that it's like physical, like it stays still. Like you looking at me right now, I'm still, I'm a form that you could see, and I'm still, because this is the lowest vibration that the light spectrum can pick up. So what we can perceive is like super low vibrations compared to like when we're in the dream world, basically. And so our brain works in vibrations too. And this knowledge go way, way deeper. This is just my understanding of what I've learned, what I learned over the weekend. And so you got the brain waves and frequencies, just like you got physical waves and frequencies. So the brain waves, you got you got at the top you got beta, which is like the brain wave of thought when we're thinking. Like I'm thinking to say the words and I'm thinking and I'm saying it, and all this is my beta vibration of my brain. And you got underneath that alpha. So when the brain slows down, you got alpha, then you got theta, then you got delta. So in meditation, you could bring the brain waves down to slow them down to where when the brain waves slow down, you can get closer to theta, because this is working different in the physical world. It's kind of complicated, whatever. He explained it way better than me. But so that's the whole point of slowing your brain waves down to where you can get back to this plane, right? But then there's something that happens in meditation where when you get to a certain part of meditation, you climb back up the ladder during the meditation and then break into gamma waves, which is a super high frequency, which is almost just like this. Like it's like the frequency is so high to where it's like you almost basically back in pure consciousness. It's called gamma. And so when you hit gamma, when your brain, like, because they hook people, you know, you can monitor brain waves, like with the meditations that, because they've done all type of research on Joe Dispenza, because they're trying to figure out what's going on, like how are these people actually getting healed and everything like this. So they hook the things up to people's brains when they're meditating, and then they'll see what happens in meditation where their brain waves will slow down, and then it'll spike up to gamma, and it'll be crazy. And then these are people that are having like transformative events in their life and healing and all type of abundance happening quickly in their life and all of this. They broke into that gamma, right? And so I was like, man, when he break this down in the course that I took before we even went to this. So I was like, man, I'm trying to see what gamma be like. Like I want to break into the gamma brainwave. And so what I'm saying is, right, I believe in my spirit during them healings, during them cognitive healings that happened on the last 3 days when people was getting healed and we was all healers. When that emotion came over me and I was shaking and everybody went to crying and all people was making all different type of sounds, because like energy was exploding out of people's bodies and sicknesses was coming out of them. You got to hear it. It's the most incredible thing you will ever, I'm telling you, I ain't gonna say you'll ever experience, because I don't even know what's possible, but it's the most incredible thing I ever experienced, up there with it. Like I never experienced nothing like this, is what I'm saying. In that moment, I think my brain went to gamma. I did. I feel like that had to be it, man, because I never felt nothing like that. America, he is giving us tools, don't hate. I don't know what you meant by that, Dave. Have you heard of Dolores Cannon? Yeah, Dolores Cannon, one of the ones I studied. She real interesting. She real interesting. I feel like that's like a different part of knowledge. That's a different part of knowledge that was divided from us. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if Dave, because I seen someone comment like America has given tools, don't hate. I don't know if that was directed towards me because I titled this, we weren't given the tools. And so I believe the tools are in America, but we have to be real into it's been divided. Like knowledge has been divided up, period. Like this ain't like a theory of mine. Like everybody, if you don't see it, then you just ain't aware like of this. There's knowledge that, for example, like the knowledge of how to buy a car with the right APR and how to get your credit right, and make sure to take the right type of deal for a car and understand the value of a car, to where you make sure you get a good deal on a car. They don't teach that in school, but everybody needs to buy a car. Same with the knowledge to make sure your deal structured right with your mortgage when you buy property, and make sure you buy the property at the right value compared to the market. And they don't teach that in school, but everybody needs a house. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I could go on and on and on. When we get out of school, man, most of us trying to figure out what the heck we about to do, man. We should already know. We had 18 years. If 18 years, look, I learned more in the last 7 days that was more helpful for me than I learned in 18 years of school. I promise you that. In 7 days, man. So come on, you can't tell me that knowledge ain't that we're given the tool. What I learned is a tool set of how to use my brain and meditation to create and to be healthy and to be at a high vibration. Like, it's a tool set and it's a practice. That should have been taught in school is the point what I'm trying to make. It ain't unlearnable. Like, I learned it, my wife learned it, we got results, we talking about what we've experienced. Have you heard of Bill Donahue? Bill Donahue, I heard of, ain't Donahue, wasn't that somebody on the news? Bill, how you say it? Donahue? I don't know if I heard of Bill Donahue. I feel like I heard it's like something Donahue on the news back in the day. It used to be on the news. Space, time, or reality. Yeah, that's what he go into, space, time, reality, and time, space, reality, and the difference of them and all of that. It was a trip, man, I'm telling you. Where would you suggest searching for the deeper truth? I've been looking in the Bible, but where else? It's a tough question, man. I think that you're looking in a good place. I would study Joe Dispenza. And when it comes to spiritual advice, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. I'm aware of the slipperiness of that slope. So I don't know. I don't like to. I give that type of advice like face to face, not really over lives and all that, because I respect people's contrary beliefs. You know, everybody has the right to believe what they want to believe, and I don't want to. I don't want to come off like I don't. Sometimes people, I put it like this: humans. I think this is what I've noticed about me and other people, and so I've lost kind of how many people have the same trait. Where like when there's a disagreement, respect is lost behind a disagreement, and I wish it wasn't like that because we've been programmed to debate and to we've been programmed into this team mentality, and countries, like everything is divided up. Like my country is the best country, all these different countries, it's like my country's over here and your country's over there, and then it's like within this country it's like sports, it's like my team versus your team. There's a winner and there's a loser. In politics, there's Republicans and Democrats, and then and breaking it all the way down to the state level. Then there's all the debates that happen on between the senators and the governors and the presidents, and my theory of what I believe is better than yours, and we're going to debate it out to find out who's right and who's wrong. And so it's like my whole thing is like I remember when I had this epiphany years ago. I'm wondering why isn't it an understanding club in school? Why is it only a debate club? You know, why wasn't it like a thing where, okay, I have my perspective and you have your perspective, and they're different, and the whole purpose of this is for me to understand your perspective. So I explain my perspective and you have your mind open up to understand it. I'm not saying to agree with it. I'm just saying to understand it. And then I open my mind up to understand your perspective. Because it's a reason. If I got an opinion and I believe it, it's a reason why I believe what I believe. And if you have your perspective and why you believe it, it's a reason why you believe what you want to believe. And if both of our minds are open to understand each other, we still may not agree, but at least we'll understand each other. We'll come out of that better. We'll come out of that a better person. But when we debate and we going back and forth and we arguing about who right and who wrong, if one person did feel like they won the argument, the other person still probably believe what they believe, and they don't like the other person, and the other person don't like the other person. It's not good. It ain't really no good that happened from that. So that's why I'm saying, like, when it comes, and I've tried to have understanding conversations with people, and it just don't go good because a lot of people ain't thinking like that. It's unfortunate to me. Like, we've been so programmed into this area of thought of, like, the way I think is the one true way. You know what I'm saying? And so I try my best not to let myself think like that. So when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to deeper knowledge, and when it comes to all that, I try my best to keep working and learning and practicing and growing, and not feeling like I can't learn from something else outside of what I believe is the one way. Like, you get what I'm saying? I don't know. I hope that makes sense. So that's why I don't really like to speak on when people ask questions, or someone asks, like, they read the Bible and where's this place where they could get deeper knowledge. That's why I feel like it's a slippery slope, because a lot of people are in a debative mindset, in the mindset of my way is the one true way. You know what I mean? What's up?
The park closed at 4 and it takes 2 hours to get there.
Oh, we got to slide then. My brothers and sisters, this live been live. I hope that it helped. Again, I just got on this live because I wanted to say what we just experienced. It just happened, and now I know it's a thing. I felt what I felt. I seen people get healed. This time I'm going to wrap it up. You know, I lost 100 pounds because I started eating different. You know what I mean? That's why I wrote my book. That's why, I talk about, being aware. That's why I consider myself a naturalite. Look, let's read the ingredients. Let's eat natural foods, And everybody, knows a lot of us are getting sick behind what we choosing to eat, right? And that's why I'm into agriculture, working with nature and what we've been given by the Creator of all things, working with it and learning it and having a natural process to grow it and be able to keep doing it forever for free. Everything what we need was given to us for free. And so I've seen people say, well, then why are you selling things? You don't need what I'm selling. Trust me, you don't need it. Trust me, you know what I'm saying? I give it away. Everything that I'm selling, I give away too. So whatever. So, what I'm saying? But the point is, what we need air. We need our thought process. We need the elements that are given to us, and we need an awareness of how to create what we want to create. I believe all of us are creators. We're meant to create. And so when it comes to, this is the epiphany that I had over the 7 days. The biggest epiphany I think that I had over the 7 days. I think that the source of all disease, this is a theory. I think that the source, because you can be sick and then you go to the hospital and then they give you a surgery and it might work and you're not sick anymore. But 9 out of 10 times, a lot of people don't know the source of why they got sick. Or I could be overweight and then I might change up something and lose the weight, but I don't really understand the source of why I got overweight in the first place. Like, I might start exercising real hard and running a mile a day and I lose the weight, but I don't know the source of why I got overweight in the first place. So if I stop exercising, the weight come right back. So I think the source of all sickness, disease, mental, physical, spiritual, I think it comes from 3 things: thought, emotion, and words. The things that we thinking and that we let our mind dwell on and think on, and the emotion that that brings up inside of us. That emotion is vibration, and everything is vibration. So the things that I'm thinking, the emotion that I'm having behind the things that I'm choosing to think, I don't have to think about something if it's bad. If somebody, it could be the person that I love the most in the world die, and it could bring me down a dark hole for years and years and years behind that. And I could keep thinking about it over and over again, how much I miss him and how much I wish it didn't happen, and if it was my fault, it was because it was me, and da da da. And I could go through all that over and over. I don't have to do that. I don't have to keep thinking that. I don't have to keep feeling that. That's my choice. So it's the thoughts, it's the emotion, and then it's the words that I'm using throughout the day. These words are powerful, and they reflect our thoughts and our emotions. So if I'm intentional about what I think about, I'm going to think about things that make me feel good, and I'm going to speak on things that feel good to me and others. So if that's the pattern, I think that that's a healthy pattern. If I'm thinking negative thoughts, if I'm thinking about the people that tried me, disrespected me, the people that did me wrong, all the hardships that I had in life, what I wasn't privy to having in life, and all the problems that are out here in the world, and all the war that's going on, and all the problems with the devil, and da-da-da-da-da, if I'm thinking like that, and my emotion is bad, and now I'm speaking on all the things I don't like, this is where I think disease comes from. So if you take something from this live, one of the best things that I think you could take, and I'm finna get up out of here because we're about to go to a waterfall. What's the name of the waterfall, babe?
Well, it was Burgess, but that one don't allow swimming. I found another one.
Nah, but we could still go see that one. Wasn't it another spot? Well, we might go to Burgess. We might go to another one. We about to go to a waterfall because we from Miami. There ain't no waterfalls in Miami. So the point, but the last thing I'm gonna say on this live is, if you haven't thought about this, like, okay, let me control my thoughts and let me really pay attention to how I'm feeling. And let me make a choice right now to seek out things that feel good. If I'm thinking something negative, to stop myself right there and think something that makes me feel better. So I'm aware of my thoughts and my emotions. And let me be real clear about what I choose to speak on. Let me speak on things that I want to happen for myself. Let me speak on things that I'm grateful for. Let me speak on things that I love that other people are doing. Let me only speak on things like that. And let me use words that are going to feel good. Let me stop cussing so much. Let me use words that make other people feel comfortable. I used to cuss like a sailor. My wife knows I was one of the worst cussers that might have ever lived. I used to cuss in places where it didn't even make sense. I used to put cuss words in places just to be funny. I thought it was funny. I would put cuss words in places where it didn't even make no sense to put them. And just because I knew it was going to bug somebody's mind out, and I used to get a kick out of it. But I was making a lot of people uncomfortable. When I look back on it, they just wasn't telling me. They wasn't telling me. In my mind, I'm thinking it's funny. I'm cussing. And guess what? My life was going up and down and up and down and up and down, but it was trending down to the point where I hit an all-time low. Now, since I stopped cussing, and I made the choice to do this in 2020, and it took me a couple years to get it all the way out of my system. But when I get around people that's cussing right now, and they cussing, they turning me off. If I was thinking about doing business with them and they cussing, nah, man, nah, I don't even want to do. I don't even want to be around that energy. So think about that. Think about that. It could be somebody that could change your whole life, and you ready for your life to be changed, and you talking to them and you cussing, and you just burning the bridge to your blessings, not even thinking about it, because it's the words. So I encourage you, if you want a better life, to think about your thoughts, be aware of your thoughts, the emotion behind your thoughts, to be aware of your emotions, and bring your thoughts to a thing that feel good, and to speak on the things that make you feel good, and use words that will make you feel good, and be conscious of, will this make the people around me feel good too? Your thoughts, your emotions, and your words. My brothers and sisters, I hope this made sense. Prayers up, blessings up.